Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about that stalker behavior. Customer says Doordash driver refused to leave order at the door, demanded she grab it from him personally. So with Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub, customers have the option to set it up as meet at door, meet outside, meet in lobby, and just straight leave at door or leave in lobby, etc. This person said leave at door, and apparently the Doordash driver was not having it. Now, there's a couple different ways that this can actually go, but we're here to see which one it actually was. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. User experiences of Doordash and other food delivery apps can vary wildly. Some have had great experiences with their delivery drivers, as others report that their exchanges with virtual strangers were more concerning. Former teacher and content creator Rebecca Rogers at Rebeccarogersofficial on TikTok says her friend recently told her the story of a Doordash driver who would not relent in requesting that she come pick up her food from him in person and opposed to leaving it at the door per her instructions. I'm going to leave our TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. But here's the thing. Did you set it up as leave at the door the setting or just write it in the description? Because I'll be that guy and say, if you mark it as the setting meet at door and then the instructions say just leave it there, I'm at least going to make sure that you acknowledge that it's there before I leave, because I need to cover my own ass and not fall into the order never arrived trap that a lot of customers like to pull.
So my friend ordered DoorDash. The driver calls her, and she answers because she's like assuming there's some kind of problem, maybe he's lost. And the guy says, "Hey, I have your food, I'm here." She said, "Okay, yeah, you can just leave it at the door. But like, I'm here, you're not just gonna come get it from me?"
Okay, so that's where the disconnect is. If somebody acknowledges that I am there and the food is there and I have that in writing, I'm screenshotting it, dropping it off, taking my picture, leaving. That's it. Even if it's not going straight into the system, I'm covering my own ass. But you were insisting that they come and get it from you. That's not even for security reasons. That's for some shady stuff.
Mark, hand it to me, like for the instructions? No, but like, I'm here and you don't seem to be busy, so do you want to come grab it from me? She said, "Actually, I am in the middle of doing some work, so you can just leave it at the door and I'll come get it later. I'm just trying to do my job. Like, the least you could do is open your door and come take this food from me."
Okay, I know that there's a lot of people that are against the contactless delivery system, but if the customer is asking me to leave it at the door, I'm taking a picture of it and leaving it at the door. I'm not gonna play the stupid game of, oh, I want to make sure that the customer gets their food and blah, 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 because a lot of times they're just gonna wait for you to leave. Apparently, there's a level of anxiety about people knowing who they are when they deliver food, which is odd to me, but whatever. But not only did they set it up as leave at the door, which means you should take a picture and dip, you are insisting that the contactless delivery not be a contactless delivery? Yeah, that's creepy, to say the least.
I said, "Well, I marked leave at door, so like handing it to me isn't a part of your job." He said, "I can't believe you're wasting my time like this, you effing B-word."
Boy, you don't have a Doordash driver, you have a stalker, you have a creepo, you have somebody who definitely shouldn't be on the platform. Yippee. Another thing to end up on gig workers that shouldn't be here.
It was so bizarre. And then after like 10-20 minutes later, when she went to go get her food, it looked like he threw the food bag down.
And a violent one too. Lovely.
And she asked me, was I being difficult? Should I have just gone to the door like he wanted? Girl, no. A random strange man at your door having a temper tantrum that you won't come out and interact with him? That sounds so dangerous.
Hey, look, I'm all for human contact too. Like, I feel like as a gig worker, I don't see people in a positive light enough, and it's making me a really skeptical person, especially with my family background. But that is not an ordinary food delivery driver. That person is a, strange individual, to say the least. But of course, they have to be a gig worker, and that ends up on us. Many viewers agreed with the poster, writing that the behavior was something they had experienced before when using DoorDash to order food. I've had a very similar problem, one commenter wrote. I changed my name to a guy's name so they don't want to bother me. The entitlement when they think you're a woman. But then you hear about the guys that switch their name to girls' names, and it gets a little shady. I really feel like both parties, customers and gig workers, need a little bit more stricter background check terms, just saying. This is why I don't use DoorDash anymore, another agreed. I keep getting guys who ignore my leave at the door and insisted they hand it to me, which is frustrating when I work from home and have dogs who just end up barking instead of them just leaving it and walking away like I asked. I wonder if because you have dogs, you could put like a beware of dogs sign in front and that would scare them a little bit if they try to pull that stuff. I don't know. Either way, it is pretty messed up. There are some down bad drivers out here, man. Had something similar happen to me, one commented. After he insisted I come get the food, I sent my husband to the door. Please tell me your husband is like 6'2", jacked to all hell, and looks like he could kill a dude with his bare hands. Please. That would be amazing. Others remarked that it sounded like the delivery driver wanted something more specific, like a cash tip. This goes right into the category of no tip, no trip, man. If you're one of those customers who don't tip their driver, and if this is the customer who just didn't tip her driver, and she's trying to tell this story under the guise of it's her friend, that makes this a whole lot worse, because gig workers, it's no tip, no trip. Not no tip, do the order anyway, and ignore the contactless delivery. Not no tip, do the order begrudgingly. No tip, no trip. It's really that simple. I don't know what's worse. Gig workers taking no tip orders to try to get a cash tip, or down bad Dan trying to get their freak on with whoever they're delivering to. It sounded like he wanted a cash tip, one commenter wrote. Sounds like he was going to force her into a cash tip on top of what was in the app, another commented. Well, we can't really force anything, so it doesn't really matter. I think they are waiting for a cash tip, another echoed. Never used the service, rural area, but I've heard about complaints from drivers not getting cash tips. Now, here's the thing. The people that are bitching about cash tips are people that shouldn't be gig workers long-term anyway. This is why we expect a tip on the app prior, because I'm not taking orders from dirtbag customers who don't tip their drivers. If that's actually what's gonna happen, then I don't feel any reason to do that. If the tip was proper on the app first, that's why I took it. Not because it was a lowball offer and I took it with the expectation of getting a cash tip. And I know every commenter in the world is going to bitch about,
I tip after service for exceptional service.
Let's actually go through what's going on here. The driver was sent a contactless delivery. Everything up to the point of the contactless delivery, even saying he's here, was up to par in terms of customer service, everything. And you marked it as leave at the door. Therefore, you are trying to avoid giving him a tip to begin with. This is why the reality of DoorDash, real life DoorDash, and shit customers doing shit things is exactly why you don't take no tip orders, because you don't let no tip customers receive their food, period. If they're gonna choose to disrespect you, if they're gonna choose to lie about the service not being adequate, or they're gonna be a narcissist, or they're going to gaslight you, or they're going to see lying at you, it is irresponsible to work with them. And that's just a fact. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. Assuming this is down bad Dan trying to get a little frisky, right? No. DoorDash is not a dating app. It's never been a dating app and never will be a dating app. There was a season to where DoorDash was trying to play the card of being a dating app, but it was not going well, and they only did it for like a couple weeks to make a joke out of it for some promotional campaign, and I don't think it'll work out nowadays. Not to mention, though, everybody is trying to meet people in person now and trying to steer off of dating apps entirely. That's first off. Second, yeah, that's stalker behavior. That headline is perfect perfectly on point. Why the DoorDash driver wanted to see you that way, I don't know. I feel like there are better ways to meet somebody, but it is what it is. And let's say he was looking for a cash tip. Let's switch to that perspective. It's no tip, no trip. Not no tip, expect a cash tip after. Not no tip, do the order begrudgingly anyway, and condone that bad behavior. Not no tip, do something to their order and mess it up, like throw it on the ground or something, and show them up that way. No tip, no trip. It's that simple. All in all, just make sure you're following the instructions of whatever these apps are telling you to do. If they have it set up for contactless delivery, take your pick and leave. And don't be like Down Bad Dan or Cash Tip Connie and try to manipulate the customer that way, because that ain't gonna fly with any of us. Stop making us look bad. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!